It's me, I'm back. In this video, I'm going to show you some alternative options you have for a particular quest in Kingdom Come Deliverance that you may not have explored in the past or even known was a particular option available to you. So let's get started. She be gaming. The quest we're going to be exploring today is this one here, Last Will and Testament. You pick this quest up in Merhojed while you're there trying to figure out the mysteries behind the plague in Merhojed, and this quest is given to you by a father who's on his deathbed and basically has decided that he wants to shut his son out of his will. Vincent, the father, asks Henry to travel to Sasau and deliver his will to a priest in Sasau to disinherit his son from the will. But did you know there's an alternative option that you can explore with this quest? Instead of delivering the will to the priest when you arrive in Sasau, you can actually try to track down Elijah and have a conversation with him about his father. You can ask 3 people where Elijah might be staying. The first is this innkeeper here, and this is what he'll tell you.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I'm here looking for a fellow called Elijah from Merhojed.
I know him, but you're most likely to find him in some tap room on the square. He only comes here now and then.
Thanks.
The second person you can talk to about Elijah's whereabouts is the innkeeper at the tavern located inside the town of Sasau. Once you get to the inn, you'll usually find him just kind of leaning against the tavern walls here, and you can ask him if he's seen Elijah, and this is what he'll tell you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm looking for an odd jobber here. Elijah's his name.
From Merhojed? Yes, I know him. I haven't seen him yet today, but he comes here almost daily. He's bound to show up.
Ah. Well, thank you.
The third person you can ask about Elijah is actually the priest that his father sent you to go see. If you do decide to go see the priest, you'll have an option to be able to ask him if he's seen Elijah. If you arrive a bit too early like I did, you will have to wait a little bit for Elijah to arrive. But it's the perfect opportunity to have Henry read and build some skills while waiting. And if you don't want to have to wait for Elijah to arrive, by 5 p.m., Elijah will have finally arrived at the tavern, and you'll find him sitting over in this little corner here by this shed that we're walking towards right now. So you can walk over to him and start your conversation.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Are you Elijah?
That's me. Why?
I have your father's last will and testament on me.
So my old man's kicked the bucket, has he?
Not yet, but he's at death's door.
That is certainly interesting to hear. But let me ask you this. Who the hell are you, and how come you turn up here with Father's will? Anyway, the old miser won't leave me even a piss pot.
This is where you're going to be faced with a couple different choices, and each choice will end up having a different outcome for both Elijah and his family. If you choose choice number 1 and suggest that you can help that will disappear for Elijah, here's what happens.
That will could easily disappear. And then everything would all be yours. The estate, the land, the money.
That could be the case. By the look of you, that option doesn't come free, eh?
Services always have a price. God be with you.
You end up failing the quest to bring the will to the priest. Elijah gives you 50 groschen as part of the deal. You part with the will, but you do still end up completing the quest in the end. So here's what happens if you choose choice number 2 and convince Elijah to return home.
He's disinherited you. But if you return home, he might change his mind.
Go back home? Not a chance. Let him choke on his bloody money.
People come to see things differently on their deathbed. You might regret that one day.
By Christ, who are you anyway? You sound like a preacher.
You don't have to go back for good, but you ought to say farewell to your father.
To hell with them. But I suppose you're right. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Farewell.
I was really curious to see if the game would give us closure and let us find out exactly what happens between Elijah and his family. So I had Henry sleep through the night and travel to Merhojed in the morning to see if we can find Elijah there and see if we can get an idea of what happened between him and his father. Once you've given it a couple hours, you can travel back to Merhojed, find Elijah's family home, which is located at the end of the little town here. And you'll discover that Elijah really has returned home. I found him in the back in the garden area, and he was actually helping his mother in the garden. I was really hoping to be able to speak to Elijah just to find out what he has to say, but for some reason, unfortunately, the game didn't allow this, so I couldn't talk to Elijah. And if you go into the family home to try to speak to his father to see what he has to say, unfortunately, he doesn't have anything to say either. So you can't talk to Elijah or his father to get an update on the situation. The weird thing about option 2, reuniting Elijah with his family, is that it doesn't complete the quest for you. The will stays in your inventory, and so you still have to go talk to the priest if you want to complete the quest.
Father, Vincent of Merhojed sent me to you.
What's the matter, my son?
I'm bringing Vincent's last will and testament.
Almighty Father, be merciful. What happened?
Master Vincent has been taken seriously ill.
Thank you for bringing it to me. If Vincent passes on, I'll see to his wishes.
Thank you, Father.
So if you choose to help Elijah fix his relationship with his father, you still have to hand in the will to complete the quest. This will give you a little bit more groschen, 175 to be exact, compared to the 50 groschen that Elijah will give you. But what does this mean for Elijah and his father? Is he still kicked out of his inheritance in the end? The game doesn't really let you know. So there is definitely less closure with this option. So is option 2 really the better option for Elijah? I guess we don't really find out in the end, and it might really just boil down to your Henry. Is your Henry really about making money, or is he about helping people? Either way, there you have it. You might not have explored the option of actually finding and speaking to Elijah in this quest, so hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, I would love it if you were able to give this video a big thumbs up for me, just to let me know. And if this is your kind of content, and if you love KCD, you might also want to consider subscribing, because we love KCD around here, and I'd love to have you join us on our KCD adventures. Like always, thank you for spending this time with me today, friend, and I will see you in the next video.